Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo fue tu día? ¿Qué hiciste? ¿Qué estás haciendo? ¿Qué vas a hacer? Welcome to video 11. Last video we looked at the verb ser and estar, verbs for to be. We're going to walk through some of the basic verbs and expand grammar and expand topics with that as the center, as the focus, the verb. So this video is going to be dedicated to the verb tener. That's not what I was going to do. All right, starting over. Welcome to video 11. We've been focusing on one or two verbs at a time and expanding topics and expanding grammar and vocabulary around the verb. Last video we looked at the verb ser and estar, both verbs to mean to do, to be. One of them for your identity, who you are, soy Tony. The other for where you are and how you feel and what you're doing. Estoy en casa or estoy en la biblioteca. Estoy estudiando español, and so on and so forth. This video is going to add to estar just a little bit, but it's something that's very, very, very important. And it works this way. It uses this verb a. So if you look here, a means I have, but it's a different have than the verb tengo, which we're going to see next video. Tengo means you have something physically. A is the grammatical I have, as in I have done something. So let's take the verb estar, to be, the one that we've just looked at, and we're going to put it in this form, he estado. Now, if you look in 501 Spanish verbs, estado is in the participle. Its participle is the form of the verb that's used after an auxiliary verb like I have. So I have done, I have been, I have gone, I have drunk, I have slept, I have swum. Okay, so he estado, I have been. He estado. All right, so I've been. From here, we're going to build this out. This is the perfective tense, perfect, present perfect. So he estado bien, I've been well. I've been well, thank you. He estado bien. Now, if you change a to us, you can find the whole thing in 501 Spanish verbs. If you go to estar and look at he estado, has estado, he, she, we have, they have, so on and so forth. For now, he estado bien, and then have you been well? This is catching, the name of this topic would be catching up, right? Long time no see, how have you been? So, has estado bien? You could say, sí, he estado bien, or God forbid, no he estado bien. So, he estado bien. I've been busy would be he estado ocupado. He estado, I don't know, any other way that you've been lately. So he estado bien, he estado ocupado, and then here's the thing: how do you say como? Como se dice how? Como? How have you been? I'll just put this here. Como has estado means how have you been, which we can use for our opening routine, right? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Long time. Mucho tiempo. Mucho tiempo literally means much time. A lot of, like, long time, literally long time. So, mucho tiempo. ¿Cómo has estado? ¿Cómo has estado? He estado bien, he estado ocupado. Take a second, pause, write this down, practice this, think it through. Come up with another word you might use here to say I've been this or I've been that, right? So let's take the same auxiliary verb, a and us, and then apply what the 501 verbs calls el gerundio, the gerund. He estado, I've been, and then the gerund here, I've been working. Remember that ando is ing, so he estado trabajando. I've been working a lot. He estado trabajando mucho. What else? I've been studying a lot. He estado estudiando mucho. Okay, how would you say, have you been studying a lot? Have you been working a lot? Have you been traveling a lot? ¿Has estado viajando mucho? Have you been learning since starting this video? ¿Has estado aprendiendo mucho? Have you been eating well? I don't know. ¿Has estado comiendo bien? Have you been eating well? Have you been durmiendo bien? Have you been sleeping well? All right, all verbs that you can look further into in 501 Spanish verbs. So these statements and questions answer the question, what have you, us, been doing? ¿Qué has estado haciendo? What have you been doing? What have you been up to? How have you been? All right, so two big questions. I'll underline these words. Two big questions here. ¿Cómo has estado? And ¿qué has estado haciendo? I'm going to add this to the morning routine, to the everyday routine, huh? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo has estado? What are you doing right now? ¿Qué estás haciendo ahora? What have you been doing? ¿Qué has estado haciendo? I'm going to add this one more word for you. Últimamente means lately. Recently. So what have you been up to lately? Would be ¿qué has estado haciendo últimamente? Have you been sleeping well lately? ¿Has estado durmiendo bien últimamente? ¿Has estado comiendo bien últimamente? Practice answering these questions for me. ¿Has estado aprendiendo mucho? ¿Has estado viajando mucho? ¿Has estado estudiando mucho? And ¿has estado trabajando mucho últimamente? ¿Está bien? In this, I see it as mainly a three-column matrix. 1, 2, 3. In those three columns, there's three variables. There's X, Y, and Z, okay? So the reason I'm saying this is that you could come through, look up 501 Spanish verbs and switch out A for us, is he or she has, amos we have, on is they have. Estado could be changed to I have been well, he estado bien, or I have gone to, so he ido a, and so on and so forth. So this can be changed. Just keep it as estado for now. And then the trabajando, estudiando, viajando part can be changed. Trabajando, viajando, so on and so forth can be changed. So what I'm trying to say is, always in any sentence that you learn, look for the variables. What are the tap for it? Like you're tapping a wall. Where's the hollow spot? Where's the part that you can switch out? Here, often there's more than one place. Like here, you can easily switch a whole bunch of these, like 3 wheels on a jackpot type thing. Just mix, combination lock, just mix and match. So be looking for the hollow point. Be looking for the variable that you can switch out, because that's the way you learn a little, but you actually learn a lot, because you learn one sentence, but then that sentence has 3 to 5 different, 3 different places within it that you can switch out variables. That's all you really have to do. The structure, the underlying structure of the language, that's the grammar, it's the template, it's the pattern, it's the content that you're switching out. So you can think of it as two parts, structure and content. Structure is the container, content is what you switch in and out of the container, right? There's a thought experiment in linguistics where the idea is that you know a language if you can take a nonsense word, like they use the word zob, take this nonsense word zob and essentially use it. So for example, I zob, you zob, he zobs, yesterday I zobbed, tomorrow I'm going to zob, I would zob, could zob, should zob. You can do that because you have the structure of the language. So you can take any new content and just switch it out. That's what we're looking for here. So every single thing you learn from every lesson we've had so far, learn to say the things you need to say, the sentences that you want to say to communicate in the topics that you want to communicate in, but then be taking those specimens, those examples, take the content out, consider the backdrop, the template of it. Think about how you can switch out variables, new words, to make a whole bunch of new sentences, and then you are a snowball. You teach yourself this language and all languages. All right, that's the thing for today. That lesson and for our routine. He estado bien. ¿Cómo has estado? And ¿qué has estado haciendo? Go out and use this one right away. You can use this a lot. What have you been up to? Text a friend, talk to a friend, and have fun. We'll see you next lesson. Hasta luego. Ciao.